Okay, so yesterday we focused on substituting and substituting only. We learned how to use the box and switch to identify the key parts, and then we learned to substitute using parentheses. I hope that you got that information, that you still remember it today. Here's a quick review of last lesson's material real fast. When it asked us to substitute and just substitute, we had to identify the variable that was alone. Notice that x is not alone, y is not alone here, this x is also not alone. This is the only variable is by itself on one side of the equal sign, and since y is equal to 4x minus 7, that goes into another set of parentheses, and this y gets put into the box because that's what we have matching it. After that, what we do is we write everything in front of the box, which is your 5x plus 3. We then swap the y with parentheses for 4x minus 7, and then we write everything behind the box, which is equals 8. That was the substitution step that we used. Today, what we're going to do is take it 2 steps further. We're going to distribute. If you remember the distributive property, that's where the number outside the parentheses multiplies by everything on the inside. And we're going to combine like terms. That is when we take two things that have common endings and we put them together. Keep in mind, this is required on your Math XL assignment, so make sure you understand what's going on and how it works. So really quick, all you're going to be asked to do is substitute and simplify. So we're going to work through 4 questions completely. There's going to be 3 lines of work, and those 3 lines of work is what you're going to have to do on your Math XL today, including the substitution step. So in this problem, we notice that x is all by itself. X is equal to 5y minus 4. Once I know that, I put the other x into a box. In front of this x is a 3. The x gets swapped out for 5y minus 4. And then behind that is minus 2y equals 7. Once I have that, you now have to get rid of your parentheses. So this is your substitution step. The second thing we do is we distribute. So we take the 3 and we distribute it to both of these numbers. 3 times 5y is 15y. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Then you have minus 2y, and equals 7 just comes down because we didn't touch those two things. Alright, this is the distribute step. The third step is combine like terms. That's where you have a 15y here and a negative 2y here. 15 minus 2 is 13, so you end up with 13y minus 12 equals 7, and that's as far as you have to go today. So again, substitute, distribute, combine your like terms, and that is what you do when you substitute and simplify. At this point, you should recognize we could actually solve that if we wanted to, but we're just not going to do that today because I want to make sure you have this part down and that you can get that far. Looking at B, we see that in this problem, again, looking for the variable that's all by itself, it's this y. Y is equal to 3x plus 2, and the other y goes into the box because that's what we're substituting for. Then we write everything in front of the box, which is 3x plus 5, because that's everything in front. We swap out the y for 3x plus 2, and then we put everything behind the box, which is equals 7. That is the substitution step. Again, that's the first thing you're going to type into your computer assignment today. The second thing we're going to do is distribute into the parentheses. So 5 meets both of these numbers. 3x did nothing, it just comes down. 5 times 3x makes 15x, and then 5 times 2 makes 10, and all of that equals 7. That is the distribute step. The last step is to combine like terms. Notice 3x and 15x go together to make 18x plus 10 equals 7. That is the combine like terms step, and again, those are the 3 things you're going to type into your computer today. Just make sure you do those in that order. If you don't, just make sure you come up and ask me why you missed it, and I'll try to see if there's anything really small that you did. But other than that, like I said, as long as you've got those 3 lines of information down, you should be okay. C. Y is equal to 2x minus 3, 4x minus y is equal to 7. Notice here that y is by itself. Y is equal to 2x minus 3. From there, if y was in the box up here, we've got to put y down there. And again, we write everything in front of the box first, which is 4x and minus. Then we turn y into 2x minus 3, and then we write everything behind it, which is equals 7. You've got to make sure you write everything in front and everything behind and only swap out the y's. Next, remember that the negative sign means switch, so 4x comes down. This becomes a negative 2x, but this and that makes a positive 3, and that's where you've got to be careful. After that, put your like terms together. 4x minus 2x is 2x plus 3 equals 7. Alright? And again, that's where you're stopping today. Tomorrow we'll take the last step, but for right now, that's as far as you have to go. And the last example that we'll look at before we go to our lesson credit, x is all by itself here. 5y plus 3 is what x is equal to. This x means I need to put that x also in the box. 4 is what's in front of the box. X gets swapped out for 5y plus 3. Everything behind is minus 2y equals 8. You then distribute the 4, making 20y plus 12 minus 2y equals 8. Make sure you multiply both numbers by that 4. That's distributive property. That's something old. Then you put your like terms together, 20y and negative 2y. 20 minus 2 makes 18y plus 12 equals 8. And that again is your stopping point for where you go. All we need today again is those 3 lines of information. If you can make it through those 3 lines of information, then the chances are you'll be able to do substitution perfectly in a few days, or actually tomorrow when we put it all together. Just make sure you get as far on that as you can. And again, keep in mind, if you are getting 20s and 30s on your math Excel right now, if you're allowing yourself to get 20 or 30, and keep in mind whenever you do it, your score is up in the upper right corner of your math Excel, so it tells you what you have. If you are stopping early and allowing yourself to get low scores, you are putting yourself in position to fail this class, and you don't want to do that. Like I said, if you're getting stuck, ask somebody, ask me, bring your computer up, whatever it might be, but just make sure that you're actually trying to get everything you can out of this information, because I would hate to have some of you repeat this class just because you're too proud to ask for assistance. So please make sure you speak up if there's an issue. That's really all we're here for, is to identify what you need help with and try to help you with it. So other than that, go to Math Excel, begin working on that, and when you're done with that, go to the review assignment, and we'll go from there. Other than that, good luck, and again, make sure you communicate.